pretty, but still beautiful.
It's been going up that whole waterfall, man.
Wow. Well, they asked why the samurai left his shop and moved up island.
This is why.
You can't even capture how insane this is. And it's right in our backyard.
Dude, look at that boulder sitting right on the very top of that ridge.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
way up there.
Like that was placed there when the glaciers rolled over here. It melted. That boulder just sat right there balancing. Dude, I want to climb up there. The view from that peak must be absolutely insane.
I know. Can't imagine.
360-degree view of all these mountains. Out for a little exploring with the family.
It just found the river!
Found a beautiful little river mouth.
I'm supposed to take my life jacket off.
The water just dropped right off.
Dad, this is awesome! We should visit here more often.
Great little camping spot, hey? What do you think, Ash?
Yes, good.
You want to go ashore, bud?
Yes. Just want to hang out here for a little. Wow, there's rocks here. Rocks? Back on the boat. Asher, look, there's rocks. Asher, have a look. I can throw some rocks, Ash. Let's go for a rock. I'll help you. Let's make a big pile of rocks. Jump, Booger!
Ready? You!
My big splash! Big splash!
Big splash. Are they getting you? Is that funny? Are they splashing you?
Big splash! Big splash!
Big splash.
Ash, you ready? Count me down, bud. Count me down.
Count me down!
Whoa, big one. He can't breathe.
I get you.
He's laughing so hard.
Yeah!
Sunshine in October. Can't beat it.
Like, what the heck? It's 27 degrees, 81 or 82.
I've never been swimming in 28 degrees in October in Canada before.
Ever.
Ever. But hey, I'll take it.
Rocky, Rocky. Whoop, woo.
One!
I think you're past the weight limit.
5, 4, 3, 2.
This is rated for 100 pounds, I think.
Yeah.
If you'd see him the center, I could do it.
You're thinking it.
Nope.
Nope. Fail.
What the heck, man?
Good morning, everybody. Another beauty day. Time to get after it. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a minute to thank some of my favorite brands and companies who have partnered with us on this wild journey. Without their support, this channel would not be possible. So I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Odie's Oil, U2 Fasteners, Granberg International, and Princess Auto for becoming official sponsors of the Samurai Carpenter YouTube channel. I encourage you guys to send some love back to them and check out all that they have to offer. To do that, just click the links in the description box below. All right, that was sketchy. I don't think my feet touched the ground maybe more than 4 or 5 times, cutting all that wood. You can see the logs are just stacked on top of each other, a couple feet off the ground, so you got to be really careful not only how you cut the log so that it doesn't pinch your blade, but also so that it doesn't send you flying up in the air once you cut it, right? Because there's tension on all these logs. And you don't want them rolling down onto you, so you got to be on the right side of the log, because once you cut through it, it can start rolling. So I'm just trying to clear, a 20-foot wide section to get through here so I can keep punching the road up. But man, is it just thick with deadfall from the forest fire. You can see just to get the road thus far, I've had to move just so much dead wood. And hopefully, it's cooling down at nights and we're getting lots of dew and stuff. So the forest fire risk is, it's coming down. And the rain should be starting here like any week. And when it starts, it doesn't really stop until June. So at that point I can start, piling up some of the stumps here, and there's rotten logs, and just burning it all up to kind of clear some more of the forest floor, because I want to create a buffer zone right before, so that if there is a chance of any forest fire, the forest floor is clear, within a couple 100 yards of my house when I build my house, right? So I know all you biology degrees or whatever, like, oh, you're gonna upset the flora and the fauna and the rotting logs are in ecosystems for all the plants. I get that, but I also don't want a forest fire to come through here and burn everything that I'm building. So I'm gonna leave all the forest behind where my, within a couple 100 yards of my house, and just let that be natural. But the forest will also be okay if the forest floor is mostly clear, and just let the ferns and moss grow and get rid of all this dead wood that dries right out and is basically a big tinder pile all throughout the summertime, right? So gotta have a little compromise here, okay, hippies? So yeah, blunt stones and chainsaw work don't really go well together. I think shorts and chainsaw work just don't really match. But hey, I'm not really interested in sweating my bag off. So, shorts it is. You gotta see this notch. Buckin would be proud. 20-inch bar. Had to go from both sides. Look at that. Gotta say, it's probably one of my best notches. Big old dead snag here. So I'm gonna put the bucket up against it while I not putting much pressure on it, but just for safety, you know. You got a machine, why not use it? Still alive. Another good day in the books. Morning, guys. Just out for a little beach walk. I feel ya. Well, would you look at the unruly mess that I just made? That was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 trees just came down. And some of these logs are definitely millable. Usually the bottom section, right, is going to have the least amount of knots in it. And then where the branches start further up, you know, it's not ideal. Wood, you could still mill it and get something out of it, but they're not super big logs, maybe 12-inch, 16-inch at the base. So might be able to get a couple 2x6 out of them or something, some posts or... And then all the skinnier stuff and everything up near the top of the tree is just firewood material. So I'll just pile all those up. Take the good logs down to the mill. Pile them up down there. So this is going to be the build site for those of you who are wondering. Not a bad view, if I do say so myself. So I want the floor of the cabin to be kind of sitting right on top of that bluff right there, right? That's the bluff that rolls down, and then kind of scribe around that rock. But this rock here, about, you know, it's the size of a SUV, needs to get chiseled down probably, I don't know, at least 3 feet to be able to get the floor down where I want it. So you can see I'm a fair bit higher here than I am over there, so I gotta come up with a way. I was thinking I would get some. I obviously don't have the funds to bring in a drilling rig and blast it, so I'm gonna have to do it myself. So I'm thinking off the front here, it's kind of like a nice little sharp edge. So if I started drilling rows of holes, if I rented a big hammer drill, just drilled rows of holes and then put those little wedge pins in there and hammered them in and just started taking it off about a foot at a time. Just keep drawing rows of holes, and then wedge it off until it cracks loose. And then maybe rent a jackhammer attachment for the mini excavator and just knock down anything left over. But that's a lot of work. That's a lot of rock right there. Probably be like 2 weeks worth of drilling and hammering to take that down a couple feet. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So I'm not sure if you were seeing it in the time lapse, but these stumps, although they're not super large, they are anchored hard because the bedrock is down, you know, maybe just a couple feet. And so what happens is the roots, you know, a little tiny root gets into a rock crack and it just starts following the crack and then getting bigger and bigger and bigger over the years and basically anchors itself into the rock. And it even breaks the rock apart the bigger the tree gets. They're such powerful, powerful organisms. So that's why I kind of left the stumps a little higher so I can get a little bit more leverage to try and break them loose. But even that is not even moving it. Like I dug around that big one there, broke through some big roots and, you know, dug probably a 3-4 foot trench all the way around it, trying to break off roots, and went to like push on it a little bit, pull it, wouldn't even budge an inch. Lifting the whole machine up. So getting these stumps out is going to be serious work. The smaller ones that are like, you know, 10 inches or less, hopefully I can break them loose, but there's a couple big guys here that, whew, if they're in the rock, it's gonna be, I might just have to burn them out, which will be hard to do because they're green, right? Fresh cut. So still got a lot of work ahead of me. Cutting the trees down is the easy part, you know, and piling up the logs. I can get that done in a day, but it's probably going to take me a week on this machine to dig all these stumps out and pile them up for a burn. But that's life out here. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, that's a good feeling. Woo-wee. Now that is a good feeling. Good feelings. Look at the size of this freaking stump. Holy jeez. So I'm just trying to knock off all the clay and dirt underneath just to take a bit of weight off of it so I can pick this thing up or even just drag it. I don't think I'll be able to lift it. It's a lot of weight right there. But that was the biggest stump. And we got it out. Thankfully it wasn't stuck in the bedrock, but it just had a massive root ball on the bottom. And I just got a couple more to go and then we're actually all clear. Man, I love this machine. I did it! That is awesome. That thing's gonna take a while to burn, I got a feeling. But now we gotta fill in this giant crater. So I've got these big boulders here. I'm making a retaining wall through this little dip. I probably got to get it up a bit higher because the access road in front of the bluff is going to wrap around the rock here. So I've brought the road in from the back and across the front of the bluff. Now I need to get all these branches cleared out of here and start backfilling this with like big chunks of rock, you know. Start picking out some big boulders. I've got a few piled up there, and start building this little boulder wall to connect up to the top of that little rock knoll. And then I probably have to put some boulders right here just to build up a little bit of a berm, because I got to get over this solid rock right here. There's a bit of an outcropping here, so I got to bring the level up to about here to have a nice wide road that I could get a side by side or quad up. So I'm just going to clean out the rest of these branches, start blading some dirt down, walking all the boulders down to build this wall. Well, not bad for a day's work. Got the road pretty much around here. I need to add a little bit more dirt in here, but amazing what one of these machines can do. So there's my trophy stump pile there. Still got a lot of logs and limbing to do here with these trees. The plan is to come through right here and dig this all out in between that rock and this rock and just see exactly where all the bedrock is. But I got my nice little access road coming around there now. Pretty sweet. What should I name her? Hitachi, made in Japan. Perfect samurai tool. Comment down below with the name for my little mini. property.
Woo! There we go. Yeah, buddy. How was that? Super fun?
Yeah.
How's that, guys?
Have fun. Want to ride out?
That's laughter. See, he likes it. It's fun stuff.
Yeah, Benny boy. Little ripper.
Wasn't that fun?
Was that fun, buddy? Yeah.
Dusty, dusty. In case you ladies were wondering what men think is sexy, women that aren't afraid to drive quads. That's what men think is sexy. Yep, definitely. So I've got some bad news, guys. Not really bad news for you, just bad news for me. I strapped the cabin here with all this 1x4 that you see on the front to finish it off so I could start on the siding. And as I was doing it, I was like, oh, I should plug in some batteries, get them charging, kind of a thing, right, to my EcoFlow battery system. So I went to do that and turn it on like I typically do, and then the lights and everything come on in the cabin, but it just started overloading immediately, and the plugs wouldn't switch on every time I tried to switch them on, and beep, overload, it pop it, right? So then I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe it's something to do with the battery bank. So I took it home and, you know, connected it to my Wi-Fi and did a firmware update on it. Everything seemed fine. Brought it back out, plugged it back in, thinking like, because I saw some YouTube video where, you know, people were having issues with the overload thing and using it as an emergency power thing for their house, plugging it into their panels, whatever. So I thought, well, maybe it's just something to do with the battery and the wiring or whatever, right? It turns out it's not. It doesn't seem to be the problem, because the battery bank, I unplugged it from the cabin and just used it outside and plugged my chargers directly into it, and it worked fine. And then I thought, well, maybe, because my worst fear is, and I'm pretty sure this is the case, is I've put a screw through one of my wire circuits when I was putting the 1x4 up. So I took out my little Honda, I got a little suitcase generator here as well, as a backup, and I plugged that in and fired it up, went inside the cabin, and plugged it into the cabin powered cord, and same thing, overload. So it's not the battery bank, because with a gas generator it's doing the exact same thing. So I've got to find the wire that I punched a hole through, and I think I might know where it is, but it's behind all this rigid insulation that's strapped to the cabin. So I'm gonna have to find the wire, go get a tester. Don't even know, you know, I'm not an electrician, but my buddy Mike, who wired up my shop, he said he would walk me through it. I could just FaceTime him and he could show me how to test the prongs to find each circuit and which one has the screw through it. So that's a fun little problem I get to solve here. I should have just run all my wiring in metal conduit and screwed that to all the shiplap before I put any of this insulation on. I ran most of it down below the deck line so that there wouldn't be any wires in the wall cavities except for like where the plugs come up. And so I wasn't worried about screwing stuff in, but man, I found a way. I found a way to hit a wire. And so now I gotta do some surgery, which really sucks because I was just about to get started on putting all the siding up. And now I've got another setback, and I don't want to put siding on my cabin when the wiring's screwed because then I have to rip the siding off too. So got to fix the wiring issue, then I can do the siding. The positive is I can't do siding today, so I get to go play in my excavator. Yep. That's a win. Take it whatever wins you can get out here. And just in case you guys were wondering, if you're not interested in like having to fix problems every single day and revisit issues constantly, maybe the off-grid life isn't for you. Because it seems like you're just constantly having to fix and refix things. And I'm okay with that. I actually enjoy it. It makes me feel useful and like I accomplished something, solving problems each day. So I'm okay with it, but just letting you know. If you're one of these like control freaks that just wants everything to be perfect and done the first time, off-grid life is probably not for you. All right, I'm gonna go do some work now. Okay. Well, goodbye. Well, that escalated pretty quickly. Last week I was swimming in the lake. Water's brisk, but still swimmable. In 23 degrees Celsius weather, like beautiful sunshine. And in a matter of a couple of days, it's gone from 23 degrees Celsius to about 6 to 8 degrees Celsius. And wet and cold. So I had a feeling with summer hanging on as long as it did that it was just going to shift right into winter. And I think that's where we're at right now. But it's a good thing because I need the rain. The lake is crazy low. My dock is almost touching the bottom here in the shallows, the shallow end of my dock. I've only got about maybe 4 inches of water underneath the floats. But now that the rain's come, the water level will start to rise again, which is good. Won't have to work so hard getting up this ramp. Want it to level out a bit, you know. First world problems. It's real. Well, another beauty day in the books. Said it before and I'll say it again. I love my life.